Room 402, a quiet apartment, a mysterious tenant, and one very unfortunate man whose life changes because he picks up something he really should have left alone. This is R402, also known as Room 402, a manga that wants to be a psychological horror, but becomes unforgettable for a completely different reason. Because somewhere along the line, the English translator decided to be aggressively British. Room 402 is where our female main character lives. She's distant, unreadable, and immediately unsettling. One day, by what the story claims is a coincidence, her path crosses with Sasamoto, an office worker who is clearly not doing too well. A small personal object changes hands, and from that moment on, Sasamoto is pulled into a situation he doesn't understand and absolutely cannot control. This is the moment the manga thinks it's beginning a slow descent into psychological horror. In theory, R402 is meant to be subtle, quiet, uncomfortable. In practice, the English translation completely changes the tone. Sasamoto's internal thoughts are no longer restrained or neutral. They're extremely casual, oddly specific, and sound like they just came from a man who's lost an argument at a pub. Sasamoto's inner monologue includes the phrase, "There's a gob on me not." That single-handedly destroys any sense of menace the story was building. From that point onward, I stopped being unsettled and started laughing. Sasamoto works in an office where one of his co-workers is a woman who constantly talks about cheese and crackers. Let's just call her Cheese and Crackers Girl. She's normal, she's grounded, and crucially, she immediately says that the woman from room 402 scares her. This makes her the most emotionally intelligent character in the entire story. Sasamoto starts seeing the woman from room 402 in strange situations. With other people, with an older man, always just out of reach. He becomes suspicious, the tension increases, and the plot begins to spiral. There is a scheme, there is a manipulation, there is a plan unfolding behind the scenes. I cannot clearly explain how that plan works, and neither can the manga. Authorities get involved, Sasamoto's life starts to fall apart, and the woman from room 402 vanishes completely. On its own, R402 is confusing, the pacing is strange, the motivations are unclear, but the British translations turn it into something else entirely. Characters say things like, "Time to have a timeout or a Kit Kat, bruv. I could bring you some medicine and some Greggs." With these confessions, I feel like I'm on the Jeremy Kyle show. I pray you didn't vote for Brexit or Labour, laddie. This isn't just localization, this is cultural whiplash. My personal favourite line is, "From the time we first met, your gaze lingered like a chav eating a lion bar." That sentence does more emotional work than most of the actual plot. By the end of the story, Sasamoto is free from the chaos, the mysterious woman is gone, and somehow he ends up with the Cheese and Crackers Girl. And where do they live? Room 402. You couldn't make it up. Without the English translation, R402 is a messy, confusing psychological story. With it, it becomes an unintentional comedy, not because the translator failed, but because they added so much personality and the entire tone shifted. It's not scary, it's not subtle, but it's unforgettable, and that's what happens when the manga translator is British. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I sure did enjoy making it. This manga is so bad. I can't explain to you how bad this manga is. But the English translation somehow makes it so hilarious. So even though I wouldn't recommend this manga at all, ever, I would also totally recommend it just because of how hilarious the comedy is. Not by the manga author, but by the translator. There's some pretty crazy stuff in this manga, so I would definitely recommend it for ages 18 and up. I was literally just tapping the random manga button on this manga website. I kept pressing it. I was like, nah, this isn't it. I can't read this, no way. And then I got to this manga and I just saw it and I was like, I have to read this. And now that I have read it, you are having the joy of watching this video. If you can, leave a like and subscribe. Other than that, that's all I had to say. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace!